big.
Oh, too big, huh?
So, hopefully, I mean, I don't know if it works for your phone, but...
I probably would. That should just probably be better useful for being in my room, because then when I'm, you know, just going to bed and shit, I can just plop it on there.
Well, I don't even know if it works with your phone. I would try it first before you even...
Well, yeah. There we go. Okay. Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, it does.
It's a fast charger, too.
Well, I mean, I wish there would be a way to, like that. But, nah, I won't be able to do that. Oh, wow, it's already at 41%. Holy shit. Yeah, it is a fast charger.
It's a fast charger.
I mean, yeah, I would have to, like, I wish there was a way that I can, like, do it like that, though, with it, but I don't know if that's gonna work. It's not light enough. I mean, if I could potentially...
What's your phone in there?
Nah, that's gonna work. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there ain't no way. That ain't gonna work. Yeah, that ain't gonna fit. That ain't fitting. Yeah, that ain't.
What happened to that phone I gave you? Have you even tried?
It's right over here.
Someone tried doing it.
I cleaned out the. I cleaned out a charger port on it, which has actually significantly improved the charging and its quality actually overall. So.
But it still dies, doesn't it?
Well, no. Like actually now, because I cleaned out that little port, it actually charges again. Because it like would keep bouncing out and shit, but now it just slides right in there and actually locks in place. Like
so using that cable I gave you?
Yeah. So I'm just been. Yeah, I could like tug on that and...
I found another one.
I put food down for you and you just go for a bone.
Mm-hmm. I'm probably not hungry.
Little dorky ass Zuko. I gave you food, then you go for a bone. What's up with you? Can't tell why I'm good chimichanga.
Okay, you're good at math, right?
Me, math?
Yeah.
Lol.
Okay. 224.62, and then add 97.65.
So wait, what?
Add okay. 224.62.
224.62.
Yes, and then add 97.65. 97.65.
Well, I'm just gonna straight pull a calculator up for that.
Because I can't fucking do it. I don't have fucking... My brain doesn't work right now.
I suck at math. There ain't no way in hell I'm gonna...
I suck at math too. So, trust me, it sucks.
Yeah, I mean... Does your phone have like a little... Like, pretty much like already put in calendar or whatever the fuck?
Calculator, but I can't remember numbers so fast. So I'm probably at like... 300 and something.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be like 300 and...
Some change.
Something, yeah. Like 319 or 320 or some shit. I don't didn't change, but I got no clue. So go off. Look at you. You little ball of adorable angst.
To 265?
Background, y'all. Excelente. There we go. There we go. Cool. Gotta get that scrumptious out of the way. I'm feeling like relaxed, chilling. Ooh. Ooh, just popped my back good. Ooh, nice. Whoop. What's outside here? Little baby. But now you go for your food. That's like weird fish garnish zest. And salmon oil. And kibbles. Deliciousness. Oh, that fish stuff, that weird fish zest is like the most rankiest smelling stuff ever. Like, I don't even know what, like, aside from just, like, raw, pure fishiness, like, I don't even know how else to describe it. Like, almost like a rancid-y fish, but, like, fresh. If that even makes sense. Oh, he loves it. He just kind of, like, devoured the center of the bowl where most of it was. Aw. Look at you chunk.
Tell us how it works.
Once, like, after my first break about it, it actually started dying down, Sean. That was just because, well, once Super Bowl's all done and said and shit. Or, like, you know, once it started going, then it was starting to cool down. Were you paying attention to that or anything? Nah, I wasn't either.
Won.
Well, who won that?
Rams.
Wait, who did?
Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, the Rams did?
Yeah.
Damn. When I was seeing it, initially I thought it was the Bengals that were winning that.
My team didn't play, so I really didn't fucking care.
Yeah. I don't really care about it either too much, but I have a little, like...
Well, let's see, if my team would have won, I would have watched it. But
yeah.
Since my team didn't go, I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't really have too much, like, of a team thing to it. I'm just not a big fan of football that much, but you know, I enjoy it occasionally. Like, I mean, it's not that I don't dog on it. I like to watch it occasionally. It can be fun. Fun to watch. I mean, I see a lot of it when, at least in like high school and shit, because I used to do the pep bands for at least the home games that we did. So I used to see them in like actual in-person games a lot, and at least, you know, high school wise, and every now and then a couple of college ones, and those were actually like watching them, you know, and actually being in person could be pretty cool, fun experience. It's kind of different for me, like, you know, to go to like a soccer or football or, you know, like a baseball game like in person, you know, would be a lot more exciting than watching it, because you kind of get to be a part of that energy and that vibe of the whole crowd and everything. I remember watching the Timbers a few times and shit, and like, I mean, at least twice, I think, going to the stadium, man, there is a totally different vibe, and it's like, oh shit, you kind of can't help but get into it.
Ooh, that was a good game there. 23-20.
23-20.
23-20.
Oh, where's it? Over there. Oh man, that is pretty close. You know,
fucking field goal.
Wow, dude, that really was, huh? Like, I will say this, like, I was partly just a little bit, because I kind of appreciate like a little bit of an underdog story with the Bengals a little bit, you know. But
well, Bengals and Rams haven't been to the fucking Super Bowl
in a while. Yeah, they were both kind of underdogs, so I feel like Bengals probably a little more so. But
Bengals haven't been in a long time.
Yeah. I know a lot of people around, like, at least at the store when I was helping them out, when they were, at least the ones who were kind of interested in it, they were all a little bit more about the Bengals a bit, because mainly just because of the whole underdog thing. It's like, they haven't been there forever, they need, need a time to shine this time, and all that. Which I thought was actually pretty kind of cool. So, I mean, I can appreciate, the interest in it all. It's not necessarily my forte, though, but I can appreciate it. And plus, like, going to game stuff and having, like, the little tailgate and, like, a little mini kitchen barbecue, fest, before games out in the parking lots and shit. Like, there's a whole thing around it.
That's funny.
Zukov is looking up like, what the fuck was that? What was that, oh? Now he's back to chomping that bone. That's sweet baby. Just being too cute, Zukov. It's a little bit unacceptable. Oh. The most exciting thing happened on my last break when I was letting Zukov out.
What?
Bandit was, I was telling you, but yeah, like, Bandit was chilling outside, and Bandit was kind of looking like, he's kind of sitting there in his little bread loaf status. And I started petting him, and Zukov just started, like, kind of sniffing him a little bit, and Bandit just started kind of rubbing his head up against Zukov and started getting all purry. Not even really directly to me, but it was just like, oh, yes! Zukov is most certainly, been warmed up to the Bandito. Bandito no longer sees him as a sus or mere enemy. They are bonding. And very successfully so now at this point, so I like it. Some good shit. I honestly wish I had, like, an opportunity to probably get, like, at least a picture of it, but just because it was just like a, it's just a shocker moment, but I couldn't quite get it. Zukov wandered off to go do something else before I could. I was just like, fuck. Sweet little Zukov. Oops. Oh, whoops. What the fuck did I just do? There we go. Press the right button. Ah. Anyway, yeah. Let's just see what is happening news-wise and shit. Let's see what we got chilling around with. Aside from just like endless Super Bowl odds. Oh, you know, like honestly, during the halftime thing, apparently there's like some weird ass like interpretation of Eminem's like performance, because apparently he took a knee at some point near the end of his performance, which I guess apparently when he did that, people are interpreting it as like, you know, like as some sort of like, you know, oh, he's doing it because, you know, Colin Kaepernick did or something like that, but even though it's just a part of the performance of the show, so I literally don't know how. I guess unless he came out and said himself, but it's like I noticed at least like something like a little like article like that was like 30 minutes old when I first saw it. That was just like, yeah, you know, some people are interpreting this as, you know, like a gesture or something. I was just like, oh my fucking god. There's just like so much like manufactured absurdity. It's just so artificial. It's like Eminem just did a little interpretation by doing a knee during his performance at the halftime show against the NFL. But when I was looking into it, apparently it was like more of a reference to like Tupac, because Dre was playing in like a performance of one of Tupac's songs while I was doing that. So if anything, it's more of like a performance based, you know, more towards Tupac, if there's like any gesture, if I understand it correctly. So I feel like people are just trying to like manufacture consent some form of outrage, just pretty much like just to anything at this point.
Yeah.
Like there was the M&M's thing, where it's just like, uh-oh, the M&M's have been ever so slightly changed, where I guess the green M&M has, instead of like sexy boots, now has sneakers or something. It's just like, oh my god. That was the day that 100% of any like weird culture war outrage was just no longer taken seriously on any level, on any metric. When people look at candies and are like, this is an agenda. It's like, oh my fucking god, I don't know. He is really going after that bone. Going ham. Kazooks. Come here, buddy. Come here, bud. Wanna bring your bone over here? Come on. What if I do this? Well, that immediately... Well, hi. Yeah, that got you to come over here pretty quick. Excuse me, you can just sit down. Sit. That a boy. Yeah, don't give me that little poutiness. Oh, look at those little ears. Oh my god. Those derpy little ears. Hey, down. No, down. No. Up. Oh, you almost got it. I'll let you have it. I knew that would get him to come over pretty quick. He's like, oh, what's this? What's this? Just immediately just bum rushing it. Like a little maniac. Oh my god, I love how sometimes this happens. Messages at the perfect timing. There we go. Cool. Oh, now you're back. Now you're back for more treats, aren't you? You little psychopath. You little psychopath, you. Baby. Up. Come up. Oh my goodness, my sweet boy. Your little sniffers. That's what you get. Get sniffed on, bitch. Sniffing everything in sight. You got a little sleep in your eyes. Look at this. Hey. Oh, hey, get back here. You got a little sleep in the eyes. Let me get that. Look at that. Yeah. There we go. You smell more of those treats, aren't you? Aren't you, that laddie? Oh, this is a good boy. Oh, look at you. Stop being so damn sweet. Stop with the sweetness. Your sweetness is too unbearable. Look at this. Look at this. And your little ears, like these ears, this ear thing, really, it's gotta stop. They're no longer getting floppy anymore. They're starting to stick up now. It's like your ears, bro. They're no longer little flopsy ears. Don't paw at me. Don't be pawing at me. Excuse me. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, boy. Don't be pawing at me. You know you do that like all the time. Dorky little son of a bitch, man. It's a little nutball. A nutball. What was this? Democrats, GOP call where Matt. Wait, what's the same? What was all this? Democrats, GOP colleague to wear a mask. Response is wild. What? What's this about? I'm intrigued by this by this title.
Jai Paul says GOP lawmakers' behavior towards CBC chair was assault. I'll let you all decide. So, Representative...
What? Wait. This guy assaulted somebody? Wait, was that part right? Was that part right?
Okay, so I don't know how many people saw...
What? GOP lawmakers' behavior towards CBC chair was assault. Oh my god. What?
GOP lawmakers' behavior towards CBC
I'm now intrigued.
Assault. I'll let you all decide. So, Representative Pramila Jayapal...
I'm intrigued.
Representative Hal Rogers of assaulting her colleague, Representative Joyce Beatty, who shared a public account of a tense interaction that occurred while the two were boarding a subway car on Capitol Hill's internal system this week. In an interview with CNN on Wednesday, Jayapal, the chairwoman of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, told the network that what Waters did was absolutely considered assault in her view, indicating that she took issue with both what he did and what he said. Beatty, who chairs the Congressional Black Caucus, said she politely asked Rogers to wear a mask. So you love how every confrontation on Capitol Hill always starts with the recommendation to wear a mask, and then immediately you see the screeching by these fucking mouth-breathing, shitting Republicans who just can't bother to do the bare minimum to protect people around them during a global pandemic. So she said that she asked Rogers to put on a mask as the two boarded the train on Tuesday on the way to the House vote. Then she said things got heated. I mean, of course. I mean, if I saw Marjorie Greene and she was getting on a bus with me or some shit, and she wasn't wearing a mask and I wanted her to...
oh my god, I would not even, like... if I saw, like, okay, if I was in some weird-ass scenario where I was on a bus and Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, walked on that bus, I'm immediately getting off that bus. I'm not even, like, in an attempt to, like, if she's coming from the front and, like, the back door's right there and I have to kind of, you know, walk past her a little bit, like, fuck that. I'm just going out the window. I'm hopping out that window. Like, there ain't no way I'm dealing with that little ball crazy, Ain't no way I'm dealing with that.
Because
I am running the fuck out of there.
I don't know, pull a Mike Tyson and bite my ear or some shit. She's crazy. These fucking Republicans are fair.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is insane.
They're psychopaths. So I'd rather just have them fucking breathe on me than confront them in any way, shape, or form. Because
I would not want them breathing on me. I would, like, immediately get as far, like, at least for people like MTG, like, no way. There is no way in hell I would let her near me with a mile radius. And if I had the audacity to realize that she was on a bus with me, I am running away. Running away. I'm gonna, like, get a, you know, like, decontaminate myself, like, get one of those, like, radiation shower baths or whatever the fuck, you know, that, you know, where it cleanses you of the radiation after you've been exposed or whatever. Get one of those type of showers or whatever the fuck, like, the whole shebang, like, I mean, everything, like, no way in hell.
And you don't know how they're gonna act. They're so unpredictable. So, he then poked my back, demanding I get on the train. BD wrote on Twitter, when I asked...
The dude was just like, you get on that train. Just like, oh my god, dude, that's, yeah, I mean, like, yo, like, what the fuck? Dude, this is a little psycho.
He responded, kiss my ass. Folks, these are grown adults we're talking about here. I'm pulling up the definition.
Oh god, please, don't do that to me.
Assault. To make a physical attack on, but really anything physical I feel like can constitute assault, unwanted touching, right? The definition of assault varies by jurisdiction, but is generally defined as intentionally putting another person in reasonable apprehension of an imminent, harmful, or offensive contact. So, I mean, I guess this is up to interpretation, right? But if you're poking someone's back in an intimidating manner after they confronted you about wearing a mask, and then when they say don't touch me, you say kiss my ass. I mean,
it sounds kind of...
These are babies.
I mean, it just sounds like an immature ass, like, you know, fucking, yeah, like, man-child. It's just like, yeah, I don't want you, you know, to be told what to do. Kiss my ass, you son of a man. Yeah. And this guy's apparently a representative who's doing this to another colleague. Oh my god, dude, what a bitch. This is, oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Wow, okay. Like, I mean, I don't necessarily expect any better at this point, considering just the absurdity that comes out of the theater show, so.
Okay, so it seems like the consensus is it's not assault. But it is funny. I think that we can agree with that, right? Maybe
I mean, it's kind of funny.
Meet the definition of assault, but the behavior here is truly childish. Did he jab her hard enough to bruise her? I'm assuming not, right? Like,
probably not.
If he's like really like, hey, move, then certainly okay. That's assault.
Move!
It's definitely being childish.
Very aggressive poking.
Assault in my book to poke somebody and push them on the train and say what Rep. Hal Rogers said. Okay, saying kiss my ass is not assault. This is where the lack of stability has come into the United States of Congress. Okay, so it's funny. Rogers apologized to Beatty. Jayapal remarked, I'm letting Congresswoman Beatty decide what to do in this situation. She's accepting his public apology, and that's what we need to do in this case. So I don't know. This is one thing that I was wondering. Beatty decide what to do. So does Jayapal think that perhaps pressing charges would be acceptable? I don't know. Yeah, I don't like civility politics too, and when Jayapal says this, it does make me like shudder. But really, I mean,
It's just kind of funny.
What makes me angry is when I hear civility politics and you know the need for decorum coming from Republicans when they're the ones who are the least civilized, right? They're the most hypocritical here. We have Republicans basically like spitting on people in Congress and like shitting their pants, and they're like, "We need to be civilized" when they talk about the left, and it's like, "Go fuck yourself." What are you talking about?
I mean, what I really find funny is that like when a lot of them all happen to be like this very like civility, law and order, and all this type of shit. They seem to be also, you know, okay with a lot of more harder press, you know, like kind of the Judge Dredd element of, you know, like kind of vigilante style shit, which is very uncivil type of things when it comes to a lot of their type of ilk. So really, it's just more or less just like, you know, the whole like rooted like, you know, free speech for me, but not for thee type of principle. Where it's like, hey, I got my shit, but you don't get it because I got mine, but none for you. I mean, it's pretty much, you know, down that where it's like, meh, little man child, I won't hear my thing, but fuck you, you ain't gonna get it.
You're freaking out and screeching over somebody asking you to put on the mask, and you're saying, "Kiss my ass." Like, can you just imagine? Well, let me find Hal Rogers. I just want to visualize him saying, "Kiss my ass." Wait, is there there is a video?
Wait, what? This video?
Real quick, before you watch the video, we have to determine: was this assault worse than the assault that Representative Maxine Waters did to Michael Tracy? Because does anyone remember when Maxine Waters murdered Michael Tracy? His hand was like this, and she went like this, and then he said that she pushed him.
What?
And he died afterwards. It was so tragic. So is this assault worse? You think?
Look at Hal Rogers poked her in the back and told her, quote, "Kiss my ass," after she asked him to wear a mask before boarding the U.S. Capitol subway system.
What's up? What's up?
He looks like somebody who would say that.
It's one of these videos. Bring up even ethics and everything else. What the fuck? Oh, what's going on here? Oh, there's motion. The wrong one for that. What the fuck? Yeah, what was even happening there?
Okay, I can't even tell what's happening.
Yeah, I legit couldn't even tell. What the fuck? So what's happening? Okay, I'm assuming that's her right there. Yeah, okay. I still don't know. Okay. I love these type of videos. I like her sass.
Okay, I don't know.
The way Vita described what
Strave Harvey. Are you the long-lost cousin of Steve Harvey?
Respectfully asked my colleague, Representative Hal Rogers, to put on a mask before
Strave.
the train. He then poked my back, demanding I get on the train.
The long-lost cousin of Steve Harvey.
He
Streve.
"Kiss my ass." This is the kind of disrespect we've been fighting for years, indicative of the larger issue we have with GOP members flaunting health and safety mandates designed to keep us and our staff safe.
Kiss my ass. Oh my god, the incivility of it all.
So I'm just trying to. I'm sure she'll explain it.
Oh my god, I find this amusing. So, like, some colleague, let's say, I'm just kind of just perusing for some news and stuff, and then I found this where, you know, then I was asking Jimmy colleague, you know, where I'm at, so then he was all like, being like straight up poking at her back, be like, "Kiss my ass, fuck you," or whatever, and then like, yeah, she, you know, clapped back and, you know, had some sass, you know, to him a little bit, like, just overall really just an amusing situation from what I'm gathering. And I guess like somebody else, you know, who's a friend of the colleague who got like who like the Democrat colleague, Jael Paul, I believe. She was like, you know, she was assaulted. I'm just, I mean, from what I can get at, it's like, well, not really. I mean, like, braided and shit, but Not like, I mean, fucking assaulted. It's amusing. Thanks, Al Jones, for just pure entertainment value. He's kind of hilarious. He's pretty much kind of like a hilarious kind of little quack that I like to listen to sometimes for amusement. You got the demons sucking up the dreaming comb. Right out there, just outside the old grove. The old Bohemian Grove, I tell you what, that's where the sucking dream come out. Where the goblin demons come in and resurrect themselves on the ground. But yeah, he can be funny sometimes. I smoking marijuana. That's just some devil's lettuce, is all. It's just some secret little lettuce, is all. It's the calming devil lettuce. Yeah, that's what it is. That legalized, taxed, and regulated tobacco that you can get at your local 7-Eleven or any local, grocery store. You ever been to Seattle? Yeah, I've been a couple times. My cousin died from weed. Was it? Are you sure it was the weed? Don't know anything about your cousin, but I mean, don't know what their lifestyle was, but you never know. Could be other factors. Zukoff, what are you doing, baby? My sweet little boy, what are you doing? What are you doing, little boy? You sweet, sweet little thing. Come on, OB, buddy. What is this little stretch thing you're doing? Oh my god, what was that? That was pathetic. There we go. Oh, you big boy. Oh, you big boy, you. Oh, oh you sweet thing. Oh, you sweet big boy. Mwah. It was a good boy. Oh. What's in the fridge? Probably ice and frozen meats. Maybe like an ice cream or two, probably. Bodies. Yeah, definitely. Also bodies. Most certainly some bodies are going down there. Mm-hmm. Oh, who's a good sweet boy? Oh. My goodness. Just stuff you in a good crock pot, roast you up for 12 hours, and season you up, dice up some potatoes, get some celery, carrots, and onion, and some garlic cloves, and chives, and turnips, and There's some good grubs you whiz. Here. It's a sweet little chunk of lunk. Look at you. Look at you. You're absurd. You're just a sure baby. You're just a absurd little boy. Look at you. You give me no treat. I'm spoiling you. Prepare for doth spoilage. Whoop. Whoop. That boy. Catching that shit midair. Am I getting an ad sponsorship for Raid Shadow Legends? Before we continue with this stream, let's just get, have a 1 minute with our sponsor of Raid Shadow Legends. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm totally playing Raid Shadow Legends. What are you? Now what are you staring at? You're just being a little dork. Don't be pawing at me. Oh my god. What are you pawing at me for? What are you pawing at me for? I don't even know this little paw nonsense that you got going on. Gosh. Your streams? Well, I mean, like, I'm sort of doing this. I can't necessarily just, like, plop on and, you know, check that out. So, and there is that. And no, I don't. Oh my God, it is a sponsorship. No, I don't want no Shadow Legends sponsors or nothing. Or no NordVPN codes or 10% offs for like Manscaped or anything. I'm good. Oh, sweet baby Race. He's got the bone. Give me that bone. Come on. Get it. Yeah, get that bone. Well, you're doing a horrible job of getting that bone. Oh my God. Shitcoids? Shitcoids? What the hell is shitcoins? Is that like some other like crypto? Is that like one of the 1,000 cryptos out there? Bad attitude. Well, I'm a bad dog, bad attitude. And what are the gloves for? They're just gloves. I mean, they're mainly just my gloves from work. So. But they're warm, so I wear them. What do you work? What do you do for work? Retail. I mean, I'm not gonna be saying very too many specific details, but grocery work. I mean, considering that I guess the union local's on there, that could probably narrow it down, though it's kind of a big one. It's Washington, Oregon, parts of Wyoming, Idaho. Or locate. Yeah, let me just go, you know, blur all that out. that's totally a smart idea. I work at this very specific store at location at the store. So, there you go. Wear fingerless gloves for grocery work. I mean, it's what they have. I mean, it's not necessarily like the actual store itself. It's the union that, when the rep came by, they had a bunch of these and were passing them out. So I was like, I'll take a pair. Fuck it. It's a cold day. I mean, not lately. So. It's actually been pretty nice and warm and pretty sunny the last few days. Even though it's mid-February. I should still feel nippy. At least. But I'm actually like, ooh, it's actually a little hot out. See flags? I mean, sure. They're alternative history flags. So they're not based on any actual, like, country or anything. And also, let's do this real quick. I have another one right there. Which also is, again, an alternate history flag. Alt history. Alternative history. Basically, it's when you take, like, you know, a question in history and be like, hey, what if it took a different turn? That's pretty much what alternative history is. Another way of looking at it is historical fiction. In a sense, where it's like you take some elements of history, but you diverge away from it and kind of take a little what-if paths, you know, with it. So it's fake. Yeah. I mean, it's generally based on our actual history, because, I mean, you can't literally just be like, I guess unless you want to, but, I mean, if you want to at least have it somewhat realistic in a sense, then it could be like, all right, then, you can at least look at, correlations to real history and, and look at the differences of, how your alternative event could play out in accordance to what happened, especially, more recent events from that. So, like, at least for these flags, for example, it's based off of this alternative question of what if Germany won World War I. So basically, some of the key factors, if the Zimmerman note didn't go through, or was still caught before it even got through, and the Americans didn't find out, and they weren't involved, and if Germany won World War I, which actually there can be a couple factors that could have played a role that could have made that happen. But nonetheless, so the Treaty of Versailles would at that point go a totally different route, and because of that, a lot of the populace and the commoners of England and France didn't really feel, exactly too, vindicated from that. So there was a lot of worker strikes and a lot of labor agitation that rose from it, and eventually, instead of in the east of Russia, which the Russian Civil War still happened, the Bolsheviks were still going on, but they failed actually. So Lenin was killed in an assassination by a disgruntled worker. Like, that's literally how it went down. He was like doing some speech, and in the lore, he just, like, some disgruntled worker came up and just bleh, just plopped him. So basically, Bolsheviks get totally kind of like fractured at that point. So instead of like this far left like rise in Russia, which would be the USSR, it actually happened in France and then in Britain. It never happened. Well, that's why it's called alternative history. I mean, that's where these two flags and this one over here are based from. Which, at least for this flag specifically, it's an alternative faction that happened due to a Second American Civil War in that alternative timeline. Like, obviously, these things never happened. Like, alright. No, just alternative history. Like, people who are into history, sometimes they like to dibble-dabble into alternative history and, like, ask what-if questions. One of them being, like, if Kaiser Germany won World War I, which, implies a lot of various different factors and events that could happen. Which is interesting to think about. And I'm kind of a nerd for it, so. Why? Because it's interesting and it's fun. And there's, at least especially for the idea of, like, the alternative history of Kaiserreich, it's, something that has a pretty big community around. Like, actually, there's kind of like a little production company called Kaiser Cat Cinema that is a pretty big investor in expanding it. They actually have, like, a little show that they were working on and had their pilot episode released at the beginning of the year. So... But a part of what happens, is like a lot of worker uprisings in France and Britain happen, long story short, and so syndicalism and labor unions become pretty much like the main heads of authority in those in the countries, and that spreads to the U.S. So from there, what happens is there's a massive syndicalist rising with the labor movement that historically happened in the United States. Like different things, like the Battle of Blair Mountain, a lot of these different labor uprisings, like the Lawrence strike and the Patterson strike, all these things still happen, but end up being a lot more exacerbated, because of the events that happen in this timeline versus in reality. So, eventually that leads to the 1936 elections in the United States, where basically in that element, there's a mass fracture between Huey Long and Jack Reed. Which those two lose the elections, and both of them essentially fracture from the U.S. and with Jack Reed starts the Combined Syndicates of America, which is that flag, and then there's Huey Long with the American Union State. But it's kind of like a lot of the main structure towards the alternative history to at least the like Kaiser Cat Cinema's alternative history lore structure to it. Straight out of damn mind. How am I out of my damn mind? Didn't listen to anything he said. Well, that probably explains it. Like you're asking and not knowing about what, you know, this thing about alternative history is about, and about the flags, and I'm explaining it, and you're just like, what? I mean, I've been pretty consistent with what I'm talking about for like the last 5 to 10 minutes. Like, how can I be out of my damn mind if I'm just explaining, like, an alternative history project that, like, people have been doing? Like, what, do you want me to, like, show you a little video clip to prove it? Sukov. Hey. Bro. What are you doing, bro? Sukov. Come here. What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Huh? What are you boofing about? What you boofing about? What are you boofing about? Can I help you? Ooh. Look at you. You're absurd. Language? Huh? How do you feel about BLM? What? Black Lives Matter? What about them? Can I help you? What do you look at my pants for, bro? Can you not lick the pants? Weird dog. I came back to check on him in a few months. Came from Twitch. Why are you not on Twitch anymore? Because I had a few dorks from Slash Pull from 8chan, I think. They were trying to coax like a little ban out of me or some shit, and eventually there was like enough of their stupid little ban reports or whatever that Twitch algorithm's like, bleh. Been getting in touch with their customer support about it, but I haven't gotten the time to do that quite yet. So you're alt-right, I was curious. What? When did I say that was alt-right? I never said that. Flags are alt-right. How? I mean, if anything, there would be more, like, leftist flags than anything. Like, there's, like, the anarchist black and white, or not the black and white, but the black and red. Black and white, but, like, you know, the red and the black. I mean, the IWW related logo. Alt-right flags. Alternative history flags. That's what I said they were. Alternative history flags. History and right are two different words. Alright, am I getting gaslit? Alt history is alright. What? No. Joining in soon, brother. No worries. Yeah, have a good one. She's gonna make you repent. Okay, bud. Jesus gonna repent. It's gonna make me repent. I'm gonna be on his knees. I'm gonna be on the knees, bound to Jesus, repenting. It's like, oh, okay, buddy. It's like, calm down now. We don't need to get we don't need to get too antsy now. That should actually remind me. Is Dark Matter releasing a clip? Yeah, Dark Matter 2525 does not upload anything new. Damn. Zukov, can I help you? Can I help you, Zukov? Yeah, buddy. Can I help you? Look at you. You're absurd. Can I help you? That's what I thought. Sit down, son. Sit your ass down, boy. You could be having none of your nonsense. Trying to poke at me, paw at me, sniff around over here, think I'm gonna be giving you something every damn time. Man, Zukov. This little dork. Here. Let's see what's going on with the Russian National here. Oh, shit. Oh, wait on. Got our little test here real quick on. Do this. Oh my god, I cannot fucking spell here. There we go. Boop. Bam. Alrighty. Now let's see what this is about.
So transphobic.
Oh.
Yeah, by declaring she loves being a woman.
You can't love being a woman. Joe Rogan was fooled
So what's this
once
about?
again by another bullshit story. Now, to be fair to him,
Is there more fake outrage
a lot
shit
of
going on?
actors reported this as if it were true. So this shows you how conservatives have manufactured outrage, have just invented it out of thin air to try and garner clicks. This is a perfect example of that. So first, before I get to the clips here, which are both from Joe Rogan and Fox News, I just want to show you some of the headlines. So it was about Adele. Adele apparently being criticized over Brit's award speech after saying she loves being a woman. Wow.
What?
I can't believe they criticized her. There's story after story about this. Newsweek.
I love being on Brit Award. BRIT award speech sparks for you. Wait, what?
Being a woman, Brit award speech.
Okay, so far I literally have never heard about this until just now.
Sparks transphobic debate. Page 6. Adele slammed for telling gender-neutral award show she loves being a woman. Oh my, those crazy lefties trying to slam Adele
Gender neutral award show.
saying she's a
Okay.
woman. Amazing. Toronto Sun here. Adele draws fire for declaring she loves being a woman at Genderless Brits. Oh my God.
Wow.
This one.
Horrible.
Adele loves being a woman, just like other females whose spaces are being erased for inclusivity. Now, what's amazing about
What the
this
fuck?
Genderless story is they are so unaware that they actually have to admit in the piece that Adele's comments surprisingly received little significant backlash. Like, they're the only ones here that apparently that apparently aren't aware they are in on a fake story, because they actually recognize that we didn't see much about this, even though a lot of people covered it, even though some media outlets highlighted random tweets smearing the artist of the year. So this was all over 2 tweets. 2. So I will show you in a second
two?
What those were, but first, here is some reaction from both Fox News and Joe Rogan.
So Adele did this. I mean, I don't know what you would call it. They were calling it gender neutral, some gender neutral thing. And she talked about how much she loved being a woman, and they were mad at her.
Becoming the woke folks' next target. Uh-oh. She's accused of transphobia by declaring she loves being a woman at the Gender Neutral Award Show Tuesday.
While the critics are lobbing attacks to the musician for saying that she's proud to be a...
Like, honestly, like, how... I don't even know, like, what? I mean, what... I don't even... Like, I really don't even understand what the outrage is about. Like, who cares? And yet, there's, like, legit a bunch of fucking... Oh, my God, this is like the Eminem thing, isn't it? Oh, no, it's like the Eminem thing, isn't it? Well, I guess all culture war outrage bullshit is like the Eminem thing, but... I mean, this one's a lot more closer to that in its root versus, you know, like, any other weird, like, cultural nonsense. Like, what the fuck? What is this? Like, oh, no, she says she likes being a woman. It's like, okay... Like, you know, alright. I mean, you know, there's probably plenty of fucking, you know, people who are gender neutral and non-binary that love being that too. I mean, that doesn't get in the way of that or whatever. Like, who cares? It's so what?
Offensive. They slammed her. She was slammed for telling a gender neutral award show that she loves being a woman. Like, you can't love being a woman.
People on social media were outraged, some calling her a
Yeah, you can.
exclusionary radical feminist.
You really have to be sort of a bulletproof brand, an institution like an Adele, like a Chappelle, to even begin to sort of puncture a little air into this sort of liberal orthodoxy.
You have to be gender neutral. Like
What?
us. Be like us. We're so tolerant.
I'm appalled. She loves being a woman.
That's so
outrageous.
intolerant.
Yeah, really.
She should be tolerant and just be like them only. And only think like them. All the they, them people, she should only be like them.
No one would, nobody, like, literally nobody's saying that. Besides, like, 2 people, I guess. Like, oh my God, like, nobody, like, oh my, that's, oh my God, so stupid. Like, there's no one saying that. That's absurd. No one's saying there's, like, some weird-ass fucking, like, indoctrinatory, like, you have to be like us. Google goggle, one of us. It's, like, they're not, like, you know, trying to do, like, some sort of, like, mass, like, brainwashing thing. Like, what the fuck?
You have Joe Rogan commenting on this because he falls for anything, but to be fair, again, a lot of places covered this, including, like, Newsweek. Well, page 6, you expect it. But, like, Newsweek, they should be a little better, but absolutely insane. So, the first tweet I can't show you because it is now... this person has protected their account. I guess they don't like the attention they've now gotten. But not...
So what the fuck? Wow.
Many followers here. This is just, you know, some random account. The other one, 19 likes. 19 likes. This was the other source for this. Who would have thought Adele was a transphobe and would use her platform to call for the destruction of the trans community, especially the confused teenagers?
What? She literally never called for the destruction. Like, okay, so this person is either, like, just absurdly stupid beyond recognition, or has to be trolling. There has to be something.
Like, their profile picture is Adele making a weird face. So, like, this appears to be a hate account on Adele. Like,
Or maybe even a troll account? I don't know.
This is one of the sources for this story, this massive story, making all these...
There's no way.
In fact,
This is stupid.
The opposite view got a lot more attention. So here's a tweet saying, so Adele's a bit turfy then? Good. Here's a person supporting, not even that Adele is doing this, but the idea that she's doing this person's supporting that, and this has over 2,000 likes. Now, Mike Figueredo of the Humanist Report did a fantastic piece on this. I want to highlight a little thing that he did to show you how ridiculous this coverage was.
Very small Twitter accounts with a combined total of 21 likes. That specifically is what warranted multiple outlets making a story about this. Now, to put this into perspective for you, I decided to tweet out the word fart with no context. And that tweet got more likes and retweets than both of the aforementioned Adele outrage tweets combined in less than 15 minutes, thus making it far more newsworthy than an outrage over Adele's comments.
I mean, honestly, just the fact that, you know, it's just a humble, good old little fart. You know, just a humble fart. Just simple. I mean, it's perfect. I mean, it's just like, hell yeah. Like, I mean, I mean, honestly, that legit would be more newsworthy than whatever fucking weird culture war outrage nonsense that would be coming out of this bullshit.
Their own standards for what they deem newsworthy, it seems like they should be writing an article about my fart tweet. No? Hey, Newsweek, where's the article? Page 6, aren't you going to talk about this fart tweet? It got more engagement than the thing that you wrote an article about, but yet, that's apparently worthy of an entire news cycle.
I love that Mike did that. That's hilarious. Tweeting out...
I love Mike.
Showing that it got a lot more engagement than this massive story covered on Fox News, on Joe Rogan, on Newsweek, on Page 6. Just so completely ridiculous. It shows you how the right manufactures this kind of outrage when it does not exist. They do all of this simply for the clicks, and then what it does...
I mean, it's what, like, a lot of these grifter types like to do. It's just a way to fucking rake in the views and rake in advertising dollars and more money for themselves. And, you know, more viewerships, you know, means more of that. I mean, plus, it's just like some weird manufacturer consent to, you know, try to, you know, gaslight a straw man, you know, against their opponents, you know, as a way to, obfuscate from their bullshit. I mean, it's just like, what? I mean, we're freaking out over one or two people on Twitter that barely got any fucking recognition for them freaking out over something she didn't even really do. Like, oh, she's, you know, destroying, you know, like, calling for destruction of the trans community. It's like, literally, no, she's not. Like, if anything, that person is doing that more so than Adele is, just because, you know, they're undermining the entire fucking, you know, like, idea about what, you know, actual transphobia is and shit. Just saying that, like, oh, hey, it's this, you know, it's this literal most benign fucking thing ever. That's the calling for destruction. It's like, oh my god, it's like, shut the fuck up. It's like, man, stupid ass sons of bitches. And of course, you know, there are people who are gullible enough and sad enough to actually fall for that shit. So, go figure. He's a cool little big boy. Little sweet big boy. What are you doing? Oh, you're looking at a cat. You leave the cat alone. Jeez. Trying to dig a fucking goddamn pit? Goddamn. Damn, kitty. Damn, kitty. Oh my god, damn, Zukov, you just fucking destroyed. Damn. Destroyed the shit out of this ball, bro. Look at this ball. Is there even a ball left? Can this qualify as a ball? Is this able to qualify as a ball? I don't think so. Oh, you stretchy thing. Then he just plops. Massive little plop meister. The meister of the plops. You good boy. Yeah, you good boy. Yeah. Who's your sweet boy? Are you a sweet boy? I think you a sweet boy. I think you is. Yes, you is. Oh my goodness. What a fucking plop. You are an absurd plop. What the hell? You and your plopness, bro. Oh my god, you're going ham on that shit. Damn, son. Damn, son. Look at you go. Zooks, what you doing? What you doing that poor ball? Is there anything like left to be called a ball with that thing, man? You just like destroyed and murked the fuck out of that thing. And it's like, damn, bro. Oh my god. I love these little bots. Absurd. You still feeling nice and groomed? Kind of reminds me, I should probably get you a bath here at some point. Probably later tonight. Let me see what else happened news-wise. U.S. is set to pull all personnel from Kiev within 48 hours. Damn. Damn, son. All government personnel from Kiev within the next 2 days as fears Russian invasion of Ukraine escalate. Damn. What's going on with this? Oh my god, can I fucking scroll through on this? I can't. What the fuck? Oh, stupid. I hate these articles, dude. Come on, let me see that. See if I find that article again. So let me see it. Oh my god. Come on, let me see the damn article. Wow. Alright. Try to find it another way. Police arrest many protesters blocking what? Won't even let me see it, so I'll find another way. Let's see here, y'all. Police arrest many protesters at the U.S.-Canada bridge. Oh, okay. So that's what happened. So a bunch of the freedom trucker fuckers, the trucker fucks, they all, so the last remaining of them on the U.S.-Canada bridge border fucking got arrested. Okay. Racist police warn of volatile protesters. Well, hopefully they start getting to the rest of them, honestly, at this rate. They're getting fucking ridiculous. As far as I'm concerned, fuck them. Endless fines, you know, endless traffic fines, endless fucking vehicular fines, the whole shebang. Oh yeah. Then of course, just some good old jail. Some good old Canadian jail, eh? It was getting to the point where there was like bomb threats and shit, endless fucking honking, legit like putting a mass entire fucking halt on the entire like commerce and shit. It's like over, you know, their stupid selfish bullshit of like, oh my god, and the mandates, and the vaccine mandates, I mean, it's like, fuck you then, you know, it's like, you had a little fun for a couple days and shit, but go home, you made your fucking dumb point, and they haven't, so, send in the fucking pigs. It would be the one rare time they actually do their fucking job. But, of course, they're not really doing that. They're being very cordial about it. It's like, great. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't be so, like, ACAB about these, about cops and shit if they actually were just more, like equal opportunity offenders of this shit. They just didn't give a fuck. But, of course, they got their leanings. Yeah, boy. Yeah, you little swing boy. Yeah, it's just a heater. You don't need to worry about that. Don't need to growl nothing. So don't be freaking out. Little mutt. Little sweet mutt. Give your little innocent sweet boy puppy eyes. Like my goodness. Man, you're going hard on that ball. That poor ball is just getting eviscerated. Just utter obliteration. Go figure. Seeing another little thing about Starbucks, you know, doing firing of union organizers in places like in Memphis and other, you know, other towns and shit where they're doing Starbucks unionization efforts. I think Washington, they're doing that in Seattle as well. So, go figure. So I'm definitely just kind of fucking off of Starbucks at this point. It's like, nope. Because sometimes I'll get a coffee, like, during my breaks and shit like that. Then I'd probably grab, like, one of the, you know, cold, like, you know, Starbucks coffees on, like, one of the aisles or one of the fridges or some shit. But at this point now, I just grab pretty much whatever else. I'm kind of grabbing Black Rifle coffee just because I like the flavor of it. Tastes good, so I can get boogie with it. Oh, who's a good boy? Are you a sweet boy? Yeah, you're a good boy. Just tearing that ball up, are you? I need to get you a big ass football to play around with and pop and destroy. Just big old football. Big old fuba. Cause I know you love your fubas. He really likes fubas. He likes a good fuba. I think he really likes footballs just because whenever you throw them, they bounce around everywhere. Hey, what's up, Radical? What's up, my dude? I like moving to YouTube. Got software. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking to actually make a couple more moves to do a couple of things with video editing. I actually got a video of me when I was shooting Thursday, some editing that I got going on with that. I'm kind of halfway through it, but I'm going to try to go again Tuesday on my next day off, because one of my friends who couldn't go on Thursday is down for Tuesday. So I'm going to see if I can go do that again, the same spot that we were at last time. Yeah, get a couple more clips and shit like that, and make a kind of little vlog video of, you know, the combined days. But so far, I actually got it going, looking pretty good. So at this point, I just need to, you know, go on another trip, and then finish editing all the clips and all that shit, and go from there. So, oh, sweet little boy. And hopefully one of my next future shooting trips I'll have another gun too, probably. What the fuck? What's this?
For my vape.
Batteries?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a charger.
A little battery charger thing? Oh.
Dude, we get 2 chargers for $25.
Oh, can you do like 2 of them at once?
You can do 4 of them at once.
Oh, in here?
Yeah.
Oh.
Basically.
Well, I mean like 2 in here, or is it just...
No, you just put the batteries are the full length.
Okay, so whatever size battery can go in there, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Remember how I told you I went to .com and got my vape?
Yeah.
I went to the one that was over, you ever been to Vancouver?
No, only like a couple times.
There's a .com on Mill Plain. Went in there, got Sarah a vape today. Got this for free.
Oh, nice.
Guy just handed me it. He's like, here, come in the house. I'm like, you kidding me? He's like, no.
Damn. Nice.
But, no, I picked her vape up. It was like 96 bucks.
Damn.
Mine was like 146. And the place that's over here, that, over
yeah.
7-Eleven, they're fucking joke.
Really?
Dude, literally, the guy that we went to...
I mean, I've never been over there, so I don't know.
Oh, dude, they have a mod over there that's like 156 bucks. And then they want to charge $10 for fucking batteries. When I got mine...
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know much about the whole price shit about it, so...
Well, batteries are fucking expensive. When I got my vape, I got 2 batteries for fucking free.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, I paid 146, and they're like, oh yeah, the batteries are free. I'm like, cool. So...
Dope.
But see, that was the funny thing is that you were talking to the guy, and he's like, oh yeah, there's people that come over from Oregon. I said, well, what are their experiences? He's like, oh yeah, they used to go somewhere, but we still all their customers, so basically, I mean, I live in Oregon, and They're gonna get my fucking business, nobody else is.
Huh. It's probably just because they do the different little hookups that they do and shit, like what they gave you with that.
If I would have had cash and paid for Sarah's vape, I would have gotten it for like 60 something bucks.
Damn.
That's how cool the fucking hookups are.
Nice. So they're just really chill like that, basically.
Oh, dude, they're really fucking chill, dude. The guy who was helping us, his mod is literally like this big, and he builds his own batteries.
Damn.
And coils. Which is more expensive. I think it's like, I think my coils are like $5. My coils are $5, so I basically pay 20 for 4.
Yeah.
And get the 5th one free. But
I have nowhere near as knowledgeable about any of that shit. I mean, I know of a couple things about, like, glass pieces and shit, but that's really about it. I mean, you know, like this. But that's essentially it. Not as knowledgeable with things like the vapes. The voops. Oh my god, he's fucking obliterated this ball. Ball has faced utter obliteration. Utter obliteration. Can this even qualify as a ball? What'd you do to this? Look at this thing. Look what you did. Oh my god. He broke it in two. He just broke the two halves. He totally severed them. You savage. Oh, what a little savage. Just so cute. Just a cute little savage you is. Yeah, aw. Just a handsome boy. Sometimes he's just like too much to comprehend with his cuteness. Too much. Too much. My god. My god, man. You madman. You gonna come and get it? Nope, too bad. Don't look at me. Little psychonaut. I worry about the noises that thing makes sometimes. One of those days it's gonna make like those little clunk noises and then just like you just see like a white flash of brightness and from this end. Then out of nowhere it's just a stream abruption. Just abruptly ends out of nowhere and just like what the fuck happened? And I just kind of get, like, utterly eviscerated. Let's just make sure Zukov ain't in the room when that happens. He shall be spared. In fact, it'll just be, like, he has, like, this ethereal, like, invincible bubble that's around him at all times. So even if he wasn't here, he would just be okay. There actually be, like, this sphere around him that will just, that is, like, totally untouched. Like, you know, like one of those invisible shields where it's like, you know, you got, like, this crazy shit going on, but you just got, like, inside of it, it's, like, you know, it's all hunky-dory. It's like one of those, like, shields, you know what I mean? He just has, like, that ethereal, like, vibration that comes out of him. So even if it feels, like, right next to it... In fact, you know, maybe the shield might even protect me a little bit, because it feels right next to it, such ethereal power, you can potentially, like, you know, halt some of that, like, blast, and, you know, probably, you know, not be in my, you know, be in the way of me a little bit, you know, potentially spare me. I mean, he is a smart dog. I mean, he might not even come from this planet. Oh, he might have, like, you know, been one of those, like, you know, alien experiments where they probe, do some of the probing. But instead of, you know, humans, they did a canine this time. And took a pregnant dog and just went, you know, added a little extra, and he was the extra. Now I have him. I think I'm nailing down his true identity. I think he's an extraterrestrial. Like, you know how aliens, you know, they do their probing? Yeah, he's...
probing every time I...
Well, I think that's probably it, too. Like, you know, it's like, you know, you know how the aliens, they'll probe the humans? Well, this time they did a dog. They, like, took a pregnant dog, did a little probe, and went, you know, took a little alien egg, and he's the alien egg. He's taking, you know, some hints, you know, from his actual biological...
Probing, he wouldn't be a scratcher. Oh, he's a probing, he's not a scratcher. I'm just saying, if he's an alien, he wouldn't be a probing.
Well, I guess I'd rather have his weird attempts of alien probing than, the scratching, so that's good at least. I mean, I still kind of get it anyway, because he'll paw at me. He'll be like...
alien probing is...
He does this whole, like...
You don't remember it, but this phone has... Hey!
Hey!
I do remember
it. Yeah, he's attempting to... Yeah. He has telepathic energy, and also he has, like, this ethereal invisible shield around him. You know, so if, like, you know, if anything were to happen, like, he will be, like, inside this bubble that is just all fine. So if he was, like, in the center of a nuclear blast, there will be, like, this ethereal bubble that surrounds him, that's, like, 2 feet, you know, in each direction around him, that surrounds him. And, you know, even amidst that nuclear blast, that bubble, whatever's inside that bubble will be hunky-dory. So if somebody happened to be petting Zukov and nuclear blast happened, like, right in that dude's face, Zukov will be fine, and the hand... in the forearm that was petting Zukov will be okay, but, you know, the rest of that human being will be utterly eviscerated, you know, but, you know, so, you know, it kind of, it's, you gotta have to find a way to, like, you know, like, hug the dog as much as you possible to, like, you know, save yourself.
I've been wearing these pants all week.
Zukov, get over here, look.
There's nothing here to smell.
Oh! Here, when a nuclear blast happens, I shall hug you ridiculously like such, so you should protect me from the blast of your ethereal bubble. And it gets, as it grows bigger, his ethereal bubble gets bigger. So by the time he becomes full size, his ethereal bubble will be like 4 feet. So by the time I'm hugging him like this when he's full grown, it'll be okay. I'll definitely be okay then. I never knew I had a little alien dog with a little ethereal bubble. A little alien probing. The weird... oh my god, now what are you doing? What is this? What madness are you enacting now? Okay, no. The cat is coming into the facility. You don't need to get all crazy for a cat. It's the one that befriended you. Oh my god! You cycle ball. You're going nuts. You really want to be with this cat, don't you? My god. Dog. Man, you are so attentive right now. Bruh. Oh my god. It's a cat, okay? It's a cat retrieval. Holy sweet baby rays. In the name of the baby and the rays, you need to chill. In the name of the Holy Trinity, the baby and the rays, you need to chill. Look at you psycho ball.
Answer this.
No,
Hey, I'll come to you. You just stay there. I'll come to you. There you go.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're a little battering ram, bro.
It's like Montana weather. It's freezing at night and
is it really good?
Scorching during the day.
It's fucking cold outside, really? You know who needs to chill is my college. I mean, all colleges kind of need to take a little bit of a chill.
Yeah, it's cold out there.
Not for me.
He's taken care of.
Oh, you can't be serious, dog. It's just a cat.
Don't come here. Come back inside. Just I don't have to feed him.
What are you, Kamala Harris? Do not come. Do not come. Do not come. Kamala Harris. Do not come. I like how they just like literally shoved her away. Like we haven't even heard a fuck all, you know, about her in like a month. I don't even think we have heard a damn thing about her all year so far. Which, well, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's good. Not that I want to hear anything from her. But like, I like how, you know, she's just every time she pops her head off, like, you know, and says something, it's always stupid. She gives it a curriculum. Please no, I don't want to like remind my brain to get PTSD of college. No, I don't. I don't want it. I was like, oh god, sweet baby race. Those brain cells. Oh god. I feel like I kind of already did it. Zooks, hey, leave the kitty alone. Hey, sit. That a boy. All right, buddy. Oh shit! Wow. Oh, you almost got it. I'll let him have it. Academia PTSD. Yeah. I'm sure honestly it is an actual thing to some degree. I mean, I obviously probably won't be on the same level, you know, like, being like, you know, front lines type of shit, obviously, but, I mean, it definitely has its own forms, you know. Like, PTSD doesn't necessarily have to be like, you know, severe, you know, type of trauma. It could just be the straight mental, you know, emotional trauma, like with academia and shit. Or it's not necessarily like, you know, an abusive or like, you know, or, you know, anything that would be like, you know, like a domestic abuse type of situation or whatever, but in itself, it's its own, like, form of mental stress and strain that, you know, can be very intense, especially given whatever your circumstances might be happening. So, like, I'm sure depending on, you know, one's circumstance and socioeconomic conditions, they might, you know, there might not even really be a thought of having like massive stress at school, aside from like, man, I really need to get this work done. But, you know, for a lot of people, it's like, man, I need to get this work done, I need to budget, make sure I have, you know, bus fare to get to school, then I need to make sure that, you know, I have enough money to make sure I get the books, and then I have to do, you know, it's just like, there's a lot of extra fucking baggage to it. You know, it's like, ugh. I mean, honestly, it's one reason, you know, at least for me right now, is why I'm really not considering it at the moment, is just because, really, the financial shit about it. Like, because honestly, doing the schoolwork in itself, for me personally, if I like the class, it could be kind of fun sometimes. In fact, like, one of my most fondest memories was getting only 2 points off on a perfect day on a fucking international relations politics class that I literally did all in one fucking night and stayed up all night doing. Like, it was some work, but honestly, I'm just like, oh, you know. I mean, it was stressful, though. I mean, I will admit, but at least for that, for me personally, it's definitely not like, you know, a PTSD thing. It's definitely like a, oh, you know, fuck yeah feeling. If I got like an F, like 23 out of 100 on that, it would definitely be PTSD. Like, worked all night, even went over the top, because it was at least, you know, at least minimal 8 pages, which pretty much everybody did 8 pages, but I did like 12. So it's like, I mean, I went even over the top with it, you know, but, you know, it was basically just some very tiny things about, like, I think some of the economic and industry side of things a little bit, and getting in and trying to go into more detail with that, and that was like near the end of the paper. And so there was like 2 points docked from that little section, but everything else was just there wasn't anything aside from maybe like a tiny nitpick that wasn't counted as a point, you know, taken away. Just more of like, you know, hey, just added a little thing, you know, I'd say, you know, this and blah 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 blah, you know, with that as well, or whatever, you know, that shit. If anything, you know, saying, you know, ever still slightly more nuanced, but yeah, you know, all in general, just you're good. So it's, I mean, also I think it's because the professor that I had with that class kind of liked me a little bit. But I actually liked him too, because he was actually a pretty legit kind of cool guy. A little bit on the, a little older, and you know, kind of a fun, charismatic guy. He had like this almost like, almost kind of like Mad Professor look, but didn't have like the Mad Professor energy, so to speak, if that makes sense. I mean, he kind of like, I don't know how to explain that. Like, he has, like, this kind of, like, demeanor and posture and, like, you know, kind of conducting almost a little bit like he's, like, a mad professor in a way, but he doesn't look like one. I mean, overall, he doesn't necessarily act like one either, but he just kind of has, like, a little bit of that veneer of, like, he would be. You know what I mean? Like, that's honestly the best way I could explain it. Yeah, that's time my own institution. So I won't be able to use my degree in an institution. Yeah. I mean, especially when it comes to, like, you know, degree of, like, you know, something in philosophy or sociology. I mean, to get something, you know, long term with that, you know, is a lot more harder, you know, versus, you know, other things, but I mean, considering that there is a little bit more expansion and awareness, you know, of things like disabilities and mental health awareness, and on a more just broader level, healthcare as well. I mean, I think, you know, there's just going to be more expanse to things like that, and most people aren't necessarily going to be recognized to that necessarily right off the bat. So there's probably going to be, you know, a lot of ripening for the picking, you know, when it comes to the early beginnings of more, you know, awareness and more beginnings to this type of shit. I mean, it already has been kind of going on for a while now, but on a more, like, institutionalized level, starting to slowly, you know, get more, you know, at least on the mainstream level. Well, and I guess, you know, regionally in some places, you know, is starting to normalize and institutionalize it to some degree. Because at least around here, there's a lot more friendliness and acceptance and normalization of, you know, people who are also disabled on top of people who aren't. And also with mental health awareness as well. But that's just around here specifically. I mean, that doesn't mean, you know, like, if I go outside of Portland, you know, it's going to be the same thing, because it won't. At least, you know, not the same way. But, you know. So at least, you know, at the moment, it's starting to spread, but it's a little more regional right now. But I think that just kind of shows, you know, on the positive side that, you know, it's one that is going to be expanding. And more and more as time goes on. Even if you have to kick the bureaucrats in the ass to do it. More ways than one, maybe. What's up, baby? I mean, also necessarily at the same time, you don't necessarily have to have a degree in order to, you know, go out and help society and shit too. But obviously, you know, when, you know, going into it and commit to what you need to do and shit, you know, it's obviously up to the individual's prerogative. But that's why I think, you know, when it comes to education, it should just be a free and accessible thing to people. Like, hey, you know, I kind of want to get a degree in this, you know, and just kind of see where it goes. And, alright, you should be able to just do that. I mean, it should be able to just be, you know, free to point of service with that type of stuff. Like, when it comes down to, like, oh, you have to pay for the books, though, or, you know, oh, you have to, you know, like, kind of cover, you know, like, the food and board or whatever. Like, I mean, I'm willing to be like, okay, sure, but at the very least, when it comes to taking the classes in themselves and just being a student there, like, that should just be free to point of service. I mean, honestly, the same with the fucking books and, you know, the room and board too, if you're, you know, actually living on campus as well. But, I mean, if there's kind of a give or take with that type of stuff, I guess I'm willing to have a convo with it. But, I mean, there's definitely certain things I definitely would put off the table. Six, what are you doing? Here. Cheek. Oh, oh, that landed on your face. You could have grabbed that. Because honestly, if, like, you know, let's say, you know, like, classes are free, you know, like a hypothetical, like, you know, college is, you know, free for anyone who wants to, you know, take college. You know, call it, you know, like a college for all. And, or at least, you know, like, again, when it comes to, you know, classes like free to point of service, but you have to, like, pay for the books and shit. Honestly, when it comes to, like, for me personally, when, you know, I was going to schooling, like, at least for me, I feel like that I would, you know, be able to not only, you know, keep going with it, but also, you know, still have a decent amount of change. Because, like, for me, it wasn't, aside from maybe a couple classes I would have, like, oh, you know, like a writing class or a politics class or whatever that would take, like, books weren't really that expensive. Like, the most expensive book I think I bought, you know, because of a class was, like, 120 something. But I found one that was used that was, like, 90 something. So I was able to get it, you know, discounted because it was one that was used. So, and at least for the books I didn't need, I just, you know, sold them back to the student market or whatever. And for the ones that I was actually kind of into and wanted to keep, I kept those. So, I mean, all in all, it's just like, ugh. I mean, if it was just like that, and we had that, at least that as a basic federal standard, and let's say states, you know, could expand from there as they will, then I feel like, you know, when it comes to people worrying about whether they should go to school or at least try it out, or, you know, just take a couple classes for the fuck of it, or whatever they want to do when it comes to going to college, universities and shit, they could just at least have that opportunity. Even if they're not necessarily, you know, financially, you know, feasible to, you know, do it, you know, totally. Because, you know, at least in my hypothetical, you know, things like FAFSA, when it comes to, like, you know, FAFSA grants and FAFSA loans and shit, that'd still be available. Because then, at that point, like, pretty much any and all the FAFSA will just go straight into, like, the books and stuff, which they did in the first place. But I would still have to use a lot of my own personal funds during the classes and during schools and shit, not just for transport and, you know, and getting to and fro, and then, you know, for food and stuff, but, you know, for other school necessities and shit. And for also other classes, you know, depending on, you know, how much they were. It's like, I mean, so on top of that whole idea, like, I mean, when, you know, if there were to be things that were still, you know, needed financially or whatever, then FAFSA grants and loans, well, I just take the loan part out of it. Just the grants in general. Like stipends and grants. Where it's just, you just get it. It's like, alright, you get your, like a monthly check during your semester, or like a weekly check, during your semester, or whatever the fuck. And that will cover for, like, transport and food or something. I mean, or whatever you need it covered for. I mean, there you go. It's like, streamline it a little bit, and then expand it, further from that. Because saves them for single-payer college education, like they don't want that, they want government, yeah. They're not necessarily looking at it towards, the aspects of education. They're looking at it from more of a money perspective, because then they can just, get more grants, to bougie up schools a little more, make them look more classy and more nicey looking. And not actually, do much to actually, potentially uplift these schools. What is with that dog? Bro, what is up? Yo, yeah, chill, dude. Hey, chill. Chill. Hey, no. Hey, no. God, dog is wild as hell, dude. You're a freaky lefties in these colleges too. I mean, they're not just in colleges, dude. They're everywhere. They're on the internet, fucking on Reddit. Well, I guess that's the internet. I mean, in the colleges, in the suburbanite, little nice little cookie-cutter homes and shit. I mean, there's definitely a lot of them that are out there. I mean, we wouldn't necessarily have an issue with them if they were just, like, more honest and saying they're like, yeah, I'm gonna stalk them, or yeah, more of a, like, progressive liberal or something like that, instead of, like, yeah, progressive lefty, or blah, 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 blah. It's like, because I'd say there's definitely a difference between progressive liberals and progressive leftists and shit like that, because a lot of progressive liberals are more of, like, the NIMBY types, and, like, oh, we care about the homeless, but let's, brush them under the rug and just, push them away because I don't want, affordable housing in my backyard. Shit like that. Or doing a Ted Wheeler where they're pretty much like, hey, let's put the homeless in camps and have the National Guard guard it. Like, what if it was like, what, we're setting homeless concentration camps in Portland now? Which actually wasn't even Ted Wheeler's doing, it was like Sam Adams doing behind his back. Which is pretty funny. Well, kinda. Yeah, dirtbag led kind of surgery and we should go with that. Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like at least when it comes to the term dirtbag lefty, I mean, I kind of like the term just because to me it's more of like leftists who, at least from what I understand, or like, and how I personally, see it, is that like someone who is like a dirtbag lefty are just like more edgier progressive leftists and like labor leftists who, are more willing to be, saying, oh, like, they might, like, in context, with their friends, like, say, like, an edgy joke, or be, saying, like, an F sort of, like, to a right-winger or something, like, John Doyle, for example, and be like, oh, look at this little insecure little, F or whatever the fuck, more willing to, be edgier in that way. But also still be advocates, for trans rights and labor and workers' rights and, the things that, are leftist and shit. Which, for me, it's like, well, it's kind of me, I guess, you know, because I like edgy jokes, I like dark humor and edgy humor, and I guess, you know, as an example for John Doe, yeah, I think he's a little, well, you know, I won't bother saying it for now, but, you know, it's just like, get the point. I mean, he's a maggot, we'll put it at that. But, you know, it's like, at least for me, that's why I understand what a dirtbag leftist is. And, at least for me, it's just like, yeah. Yeah, and at least for those type of lefties, I'm totally fine with them. That's not what I'm talking about. I had to find a backslapping grifter for power. Yeah. Well, yeah, well, those are just like grifters and, you know, just like any other at that point. But, yeah, well, I know, okay, so I guess I know, yeah, I know what you mean with that, though. So, and, oh my god, these bots. I love these bots sometimes. Sister 19 lol. What, wow, what a sight. What a link. But, I guess, you know, not in the positive way. Those type of lefties, well, lefties are dirtbags too. But just not in the more positive way that I would look at it. Because I think, you know, at least for, you know, the dirtbag lefties, you know, from what I'm talking about, like, I think a lot of them, you know, do, you know, like, value this thing about, like, you know, oh, okay, wow, my brain just did a stoner. But, what was I about to say? What was it? What the fuck? It pulled a massive stoner. Yeah, it really, it did pull a massive stoner. Okay, now I'm, okay. God damn it, now I'm having a sunk cost fallacy trying to figure it out. I'll figure it out in a second. Oh, I remember. Okay. At least I believe I do. But I think, yeah, at least when it comes to dirtbag lives house, you know, that I'm like referring to, I think that, you know, they, at least, you know, why I think it's at least a little bit more of a positive thing is because, you know, there's still at least a value of being able to, like, not necessarily have to, like, you know, have this, like, you know, cultural, you know, or norm, you know, or societal norm of, like, you know, having to walk on eggshells necessarily, you know, in a way to, you know, push for more progressive action, but being able to have everyone, you know, an equal opportunity to remove the actual prejudice so we can all, you know, truly do look at each other and be able to, you know, josh with each other like, you know, we would with our own friends and shit. Because, I mean, you know, we're all human. I mean, at least that's, you know, for me, why I guess I would consider myself a dirtbag lefty in that case, because, yeah, I mean, you know, it's like, we should, you know, be able to have the ability to josh on each other and, you know, make jokes and, you know, and be a little edgy with each other and shit. Because I don't think there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It's just when there's, like, you know, the actual prejudice and the bigotry and the actual, like, hate that, you know, can get enabled and pushed through with shit like that. Which, yeah, and when it comes to that type of stuff, that, you know, shouldn't be acceptable, and when people are using it in those ways and in those means, I mean, at the very least, they should either be challenged or, you know, told they're a fucking idiot. You know, so, I mean, I think, you know, there's at least, you know, for dirtbag lives an understanding of when there's, you know, legit, at least probably more of a, you know, understanding of, like, you know, hey, you know, this is, you know, bigotry, but, you know, like, having, like, this little joke, hey, and knowing who's doing that in actual earnest and who isn't. Because I can look at someone like fucking, like, Steven Crowder and be like, yeah, he's not doing jokes just because, like, hey, I'm just joking, bro. Like, it's kind of obvious what the fuck that dumb shit's about. But at least for people like Pessimist Productions, who all three of the people on that show, Paul, TJ, and Scotty, they're all lefties, but they're also kind of edgy. Like TJ will, might occasionally, say the R slur, and same with his brother. And at the same time, they'll also say the F slur too and shit. So it's like, they're edgy and they're kind of, dirtbag lefties in their own right. But, when listening to them, especially when it comes to, like, reacting to people like, Ben Shapiro, or reacting to, politics and stuff, it's pretty obvious, that they're on the side of people who are trans. And, I mean, on their show, Deep Fat Fried, they have two different, trans trailblazers episodes, talking about, trans people in history, in both of those episodes. And... so, they have, like, a lot of legitimate, like, LGBTQ advocacy, worker and labor rights advocacy, and, not just that, but also going, through and looking into its history, and all sorts of shit, so it's like, despite their kind of, like, dirtbag, lefty edginess and shit, I mean, you know where they stand. Can't walk away in politically so protection, like there needs to be rules of politics and need to have healthy interactions. Yeah. I mean, at least, especially when it comes to just like, a casual conversation, for me at least, it's not to necessarily take it too seriously. Because I definitely have some political conversations, not necessarily just in college, but I've also had them in the, workplaces too and shit. And, sometimes there'd definitely be disagreements, but they never, it's like, at least, between the people I would have combos with, they would never, be taken so serious enough to where they actually have to get, like, this intense, heated, thing or whatever. Because, at the end of the day, I mean, even if there's, like, a slight disagreement on one thing or the other, it's, no sweat off, each other's back or whatever. It's like, even if you have another conversation again about it later, I mean, if anything, having that conversation, at least on both ends, kind of hones your own ideas and even challenges them to an extent. Especially on one-on-one conversation, that is a lot more different than doing things like this, or, having like a little comment war, on Reddit or something like that. It's a lot more, it's actually like real. I mean, this is too, but not in the same way, because you don't have that same face-to-face, like, human body language behavior going on, too, that, implies into a lot of the conversation as well. Because most of human communication is body language, and nonverbal, overall, so. Yeah. I mean, it's not to say that, like, serious discussions, like, shouldn't happen at all or nothing, but, it's like, overall, shouldn't be, like, the, at least for me, like, the end-all, be-all, when, talking to somebody, either when it comes to, disagreement, but at least trying to, but in, like, also in your own way, hone in the, how to, like, best get through, different people. Because if, it gets heated with one person, it's like, alright, it's like, how do I try to, convey to the next person, or even this person later down the line, without, something like that happening again, and get through without, this means of escalation. Not like you be the one perpetrating it, but also, figuring, because a part of that is also trying to, like, figure out, like, alright, how do I, like, get a, turn around this person's, build up and escalation into, something different and de-escalate it. Because, I mean, a lot of that isn't necessarily just, one person or the other, with that. It could be a little both, too, but sometimes it's usually just because, mainly with people who are right-wingers and conservatives, they will usually get very defensive. So it's more about, like, how do you, like, avoid the defensive ticks, and if they are, going off, how do you, like, keep them from, like, escalating further from it. Which is, especially in, conversation, is a pretty tricky thing. I mean, there's no real perfect way to do that. I mean, if that, I just gotta have to take it person by person. Let's take off one of these. See if this is sneaking back in here. Didn't it? You might hear that. Oh yeah, you did. Wait a minute. Did you somehow sneak out on the front? You're inside now. How'd you get into the front of the house? How'd you get to the fucking front? How? What? Are you doing some black magic on me? What the fuck? There's no way for him to get into the front yard or nothing. And he's out there. The fuck? Well, I mean, he was by the door when I saw him, but on the other side. Like, what the fuck? Are you doing some black magic or some shit? Look at your ass. Doing some, like, fucking witchcraft shit here, bro. Just like Lucifer's Telepathicus Illuminatus Amunus, and then you just, like, and just, like, transport yourself to the front yard, you psych. I don't even know if I want you to have this treat. You freak me out. Doing some fucking, like, sacrificial, like, spell casting here, dude. Moving yourself. And I don't even know if I want to give you this now. You're kind of freaking me out. I think you legit are kind of part extraterrestrial, bro. Here. Oh, go get it. You part alien little fucking freakazoid. How does he? I am honestly, I'm so confused. There's no way for him to get to the front of the house, and yet he was in the front of the house. Yeah. My brain is broken. Like, what the fuck? You're an alien. You're a fucking alien. Like, maybe I'm just stoned, but, like, my brain's broke as fuck. Like, there's no way for him to get to the front of the house, and yet he did. Brain's straight fucking broke as fuck right now. I am so confused. I really don't even know. What the how? Like, how did you do that? Aside from, like, some crazy, like, alien telepathic witch spell shit. Which, if that is it, you need to teach me your ways. Like, you can't just not tell me about it. Like, I'm on to you, you know this. Like, you gotta tell me your ways, bro. Like, if you're doing this shit, I can use this. Like, imagine if I could just teleport myself, like, to my work, you know, so I don't have to be, like, walking or some shit. I could save the time. You know? Save me some time. Be like, yo, gonna be there in 5 minutes. hang up the phone, do my little spell cast right in front of the little clock on thing, boom, and I come through the door like, I thought you said 5 minutes. Just like, Sukov taught me a little telepathic transportation cast spell. No need. Same for like breaks too. I just like hide off in like the freezer, close the door, be like, going to break, go in the freezer, just do my spell. It's like, you know, go home, do my business. I could chill here a little longer now. You know, and then I could just do my spell again. And I could just be in like the bathroom in, you know, the break room or something like that. Come back out, walk right in. Boom. Dude, I've been using that to be efficient as fuck with my time, bro. Like, hella. Like, Sukov, you're really holding out on me if you know, are truly able to have such powers. Because this is fucking unacceptable. Like, you are now committing actual war crimes and human rights violations. Impossible acts of espionage, too. I'm actually trying to figure out how he got through to the fucking front of the house. I don't even know. I really don't. I'm honestly at a little bit of a loss for words on that one. Unless there's like a little nook in between like the fence of their property and ours that is like that little gate area and he could somehow squeeze through that. But on the other side there's like nothing but bush. So he'd be going through a lot of bush. So it's just like, you know, maybe that's it. I'll have to see if there's like a little nook right there that you can squeeze through, and so I could just kind of squeeze myself through the bush and just put something there. Cause that he just look at that and be like, oh, I can't go here no more. Okay, but then he gets stuck. Oh man, well, fuck. I'll have to figure it out. Equipping either an alien or a ninja. I'm really leaning on alien. I'm really leaning on the whole alien theory at this point. You're part alien. It's also intertwined with my urge to want to believe as well, but, you know, hey, it all works out. The world is your own adventure book, right? Speaking of like extraterrestrial shit, even though it's not really related to it, for some reason it's reminding me of it though. Apparently, like back in like 51 AD or some shit, I saw a video about this like 2 days or like not even 2 days ago, like a week ago maybe actually. Apparently there was like an actual like Roman fucking battle where a meteorite straight up landed right in between the two armies and shit, apparently. And I was just like, what? And I'm just thinking about like what those, you know, like some of the, you know, soldiers are thinking, because apparently they had a truce that day because I was just like, whoa, holy shit, bro. And there were a few accounts because some people did go up to it, and apparently it was like this just kind of small little hunk of a thing, you know, when it actually landed. But obviously left this pretty insane, bombastic, you know, boom boom of an explosion. Where I'm sure, like, it's, oh my god, imagine, like, you know, some of the people that were, like, right on the front, you know, looking at that. blinded, deafened, probably burnt. Armor, like, burning their... Oh my god, yeah. I would not want to be on that battlefield, actually. Either, like, the gods or the aliens. The terrestrials from above. They're bombarding us. They don't want us to battle this day. It's like, oh damn, bro. I'm forgetting, like, it was like the third something war, I know that much. It happened, like, in the war itself, it was like 47 or like 40 something AD to like 50 something AD. But like the actual like comet landing and shit, like that happened I think in like 51 AD or something like that. Or it could have been like BC or something, but I'm pretty sure it was AD. Just at the turn of, you know, the BC AD shit. Which honestly, it's just like, I think that's literally just only has happened once, where there's like a battlefield or like, you know, a battle going on, or about to, and then just like, so boom, meteor just right in the middle of that shit. Also, why hasn't there been a movie about that? Like, there's movies about comets and all this shit. Like, I think the latest one was Greenland or something. Got like Armageddon and all these other films, but like, not one about this. I mean, because that'd be kind of a legit thing. Even if they, like, play it up a little bit and make it, like, kind of fictional and whatever the fuck. Like they did with 300, because that's not historically accurate either. Go figure. Shocker. I mean, even if they did do that, it'd still be a cool movie. Just like, you know, ancient battle, you know, shit going on, and then they're about to meet on like the second day. Some of them are all grizzled from the, you know, night, you know, day before, all battle hardened and shit, ready to go, you know, slamming some shields, you know, ready to march forth. General's about to call it, and all of a sudden a flash in the air, and everyone looks up and just, they just see this thing coming down. They're just like, what the? And they're all like, what the fuck is this? And then, boom, right in the center of everything. And like the first few lines that are like at the very front, ready to, you know, march forth and, you know, go to battle and shit for on both sides, you know, they all get scorched and singed and all fucked up, deafened, blind, whole shebang. They're all like retreating, routed, all like, ah, you know, whatever the fuck. Helmets like melting into their fucking head and shit because of the sheer temperature and all that. And then like all the reserves and everyone and like the top of the hills are like, oh fuck, you know, like, oh shit, oh my god, gods above, oh, what was that? Just like have at like a crazy peak climax of the film, have like, you know, some of the other dudes come up forth and shit, you know, make that part accurate, and then just for the, you know, just for the sake of, you know, epic action, ancient battle, you know, awesomeness, let them just, you know, continue forth with the battle that day, instead of stalemate like it historically happened. I think the battle did keep going the next day, but it'd be more cooler if it happened, like, right, you know, right after it happened and shit. At least, you know, for the Hollywood flair-wise. But, still, I don't know what you'd call the film, but it's still pretty cool. Because, I mean, it literally fucking happened once. Probably literally only once ever. Probably won't ever happen again, but still, it happened. That's why Hollywood sucks. Like, honestly, there's like some of the most weirdest, quirkiest, strangest things in actual history that they can easily make in movies. Like, I know another big thing that, you know, a lot of movie directors and a lot of the Hollywood and movie industry like to do is, like, World War II films and shit like that. I mean, it's like, alright. There's actually legit a lot of crazy-ass, cool fucking characters and cool different strange stories. You know, it's like the Battle of Castle Itter, I believe it's called, where the Wehrmacht allied with the U.S. and fought the SS with some captured French politicians and a few other people and partisans and shit in the castle. Like, it was actually a pretty cool little story all in all. And then there's the Charlie Brown incident, where Franz Stigler, instead of shooting down a damaged B-17, escorted it up to across the English Channel, then turned down, which would essentially prohibited him from getting the Iron Cross, which he would have been rewarded if he did. But his justification as to why he didn't was because he saw that as a parachute, essentially. He didn't, you know, they didn't shoot back at him, and it was so heavily damaged and fleeing that it essentially was a parachute that, you know, wasn't necessarily a chute yet. So he didn't necessarily feel good about wanting to shoot it down, so he escorted it. And then there's the 588th Bomber Regiment, which are the all-female night bomber regiment. And then there's Lumina Pavlichenko. I mean, there's also a lot of different interesting stories on the Western Front. Like, there's like, I forgot his name right off the bat, but he unironically had an umbrella and a bowler hat while fighting in operations in the Netherlands and Belgium. And it's just like a bowler hat, what? But during his operations, he like in the town, he found an umbrella and a bowler hat, and it was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna wear these now. Still have to be kind of, you know, a gentleman while out and about. What? It's like there can easily be a movie about that guy. Again, I forget his name right off the bat of my head. I know Simple History. I think that's the channel name, if I remember correctly. I know they did a video on him. That's how I I know about the guy. I was watching that video, but I'm just, you know, but I remember thinking about watching that video. It's like, why is there not a movie about this dude? But I mean, but it just kind of shows that, like, I mean, there's also Jack Churchill too as well, fighting with a fucking longbow, just vibing out with some bagpipes while a battle's going on. It's like, okay, I mean, that dude's, he was known as Mad Jack, and there's a reason why he has the title. Understandable. Literally just casually walks out of a German POW camp, I think not just once, but twice. He just has such confidence that I guess the Germans are just like, I guess he's walking with them, I suppose. I guess they might execute the one. Alright, just let him go. That's probably how he got away with it. There was probably like a little patrol that was kind of walking up, you know, like 10 feet in front of him, and he just like, I'm just gonna kind of walk with confidence, looking like, you know, I'm about to, you know, kind of behind him a little bit. Looking like, you know, they're going to take me off to get shot or something. And then, you know, the dudes up front doing their patrol aren't, you know, thinking anything of it because they don't see them really, because they're just wandering off doing their thing, doing their patrol. And then, you know, the guards up front at the gate aren't thinking anything of it because they're probably assuming that the dude's going to get shot in the woods or whatever, just left there or something like that. And Jack's like, oh, they're assuming that. I'm just going to kind of, you know, keep on going. Alright, I'm out of the view. Bye. Just dips off to the forest. I mean, I know he did it at least once, but I'm pretty sure he did it twice. But I could be wrong on that. I know he did it at least once, where he just casually walks out of a POW camp and nobody stopped him. So, I mean, it's like, damn. That's pretty badass, I will admit that. just casual, just chadness, where you just kind of walk out of a prison camp and just no one even bothers to stop you. But I think it just kind of goes to show there needs to be movies on that. On just strange characters like that. Because they exist. It's legit actual history. So honestly, there's not even really much that they need to do to flare it up or anything. Because these people in themselves are already kind of a flare in themselves. I mean, it's not just then, but like World War One, too. Hell, during the, I mean, honestly, I'm sure there's probably a lot of different stuff about the Korean War now thinking about it. It's known as the Forgotten War. I'm sure they could probably do, you know, some different ideas and things that, you know, from the events that have happened there. Same with the Vietnam War. I mean, there's already, you know, a lot of different films about that. But I'm sure they can do one based off of, you know, some different characters and shit. Actually, I know there's one they could do with World War II and Vietnam. Because there's this dude who's known as the Man of Three Armies. And he, at first, was a part of the Winter War with the Finnish. And during the continuation war, he was in Germany near the end of the war. So he basically just kind of, like, shoved himself into this little, like, SS battalion to fight against the Soviets. And then after the war, he went to the US and was kind of, you know, taking odd jobs for a while. And then when the Vietnam War broke out, he joined the army then and worked up in the ranks to become a Green Beret and was doing operations in Vietnam. And then he died in a helicopter crash in Vietnam, and he actually wasn't identified until decades later. I mean, ideologically, probably vehemently disagree with him because he basically literally joined every army to essentially fight, like, radical leftists, you know, so don't really, you know, probably wouldn't like the guy too much, but, yeah, I mean, considering his just will and determination and all that type of shit, I mean, I can at least respect that a little bit. But it's just, probably his personal life and his general views, probably not. And also, I know in Vietnam, there was, like, there was somebody who was known as, like, one of the shortest people to fight in the U.S. Army and in the military. And he basically was, like, 4'10" or, like, something like that. Basically, like, Daniel DeVito size. At least when it comes to height. I mean, legit a pretty small guy. And he didn't qualify, you know, to be enlisted, but he basically, like, he was one of these other dudes who just, like, forced his way in anyway. And just forced himself. It's like, no, I'm gonna do it anyway, damn you. And when he did, he actually ended up being a, you know, pretty, like, vehemently, like, adamant, you know, person to be reckoned with a little bit. Even to his colleagues and to his other squad mates and shit. He actually, like, kind of stood out in more ways than some of his counterparts who are even way significantly taller than him. So, I mean, I forget what his name was, but, you know, there's not really too much on the guy. But overall, he is actually kind of, you know, another one of those certified badasses where they could make a little movie out of him. And also, there was, like, a little, there was also a little kid who kind of led his, well, he kind of led his own little battalion with another lieutenant, because he kind of got the rank of honorary lieutenant during the World War II, because when that partisan regiment came to his village after it got captured and you know, just fucked over by the Nazis and shit, he you know, the leader and the commander of the regiment took fondness of the kid, and pretty much kind of made him like a little honorary lieutenant, kind of like a mascot for the actual battalion. But he was more than that. Like, he actually ended up, you know, partaking a little bit of action. He actually did help out, you know, with logistics amongst other things, you know. And eventually was able to kind of garner respect of some of the other soldiers and shit like that too. Because initially a lot of them were just kind of thinking, oh, he's a cute little soldier boy, you know, kind of doing it mockingly and shit, you know. But after a while they realized, oh, he's actually capable of some shit for a kid. So it's like, oh, okay. But boy, B, this is a lot of different stories like that. Not just World War II, but all over. Even you know, before the turn of the century, 1900s. I know there's this Danish movie called April 6th, which is about World War II, and then there's like another one. I think it's like 18 something. It's 1858, I believe, or something like that. But it's basically the German-Danish War, where the Kaiser basically kind of really showed off like the new cannons that they had, and a lot of their more superior firepower to the Danish and shit. There's actually like a couple meme videos, mostly like Hearts of Iron 4 related memes with some clips off of that movie. It's actually a pretty good movie, but I mean, it's another one of those Danish films. But honestly, like a lot of indie movies or at least a lot of international movie industries seem to be a little bit more open to, you know, delving into that type of shit. Probably just because a lot of that's in Europe and shit, so in a lot of ways they fucking you know, have a lot more interest in their own history and shit, obviously, so they're gonna make movies about that type of stuff. Well, in America, it's not, you know, it's not really scenes like that. Though I don't know why not. I mean, we like our fucking, you know, action-packed, you know, fucking, you know, like hoorah good guy movies and shit. Even if it's not necessarily, you know, the American types and shit. I mean, I guess that helps, but I mean, we make movies about, you know, the allies that helped with us, you know, whatever the fuck. So, I don't know. Those type of movies, you know, it's like they're America's bread and butter, so it's like, come on, Hollywood. Come on, movie industry. A lot of cool shit out there. Like, historically wise. They're not even taking any opportunities. I mean, hell, like I was saying, like what started, it was like, you know, the fucking Roman army and this other, like another, and it was a Greek army, I believe. You know, like this Macedonian and Roman armies coming together, and a fucking comet, you know, creams right in the middle of the two armies forming and shit. Like, how's that not a movie? Like, even it is played up a little bit, and it's mostly bullshit or whatever the fuck, you know, and doesn't really stick to the actual history of it. I mean, still make a damn movie out of it. So come on now. Pretty lit. Get hella stoned, fucking watch a movie about like two ancient fucking empires battling it out, and then just like comet out of nowhere just goes right in the middle of the battlefield. I mean, even just like, you know, if it's like just inspired from that event, just some other type of film, or if it's like, you know, some fantasy movie, or, you know, or some sci-fi movie even, or some shit. Like, if there's, like, some Starship Trooper movie or some shit, and then, like, you know, in the middle, fucking up all these aliens and shit, just out of nowhere, just a cosmic rock just creams in while they're all having this big fat battle or something, dude. I mean, it's like, come on. Missed opportunities here. Oh my god, he's just collecting toys everywhere over here. Bone, ball, kind of what's left of a ball, that, a stick, what's left of a pillow that he shredded, another bone. He has 2 bones. Oh my god. 2, like, wrecked out bones. What is with you collecting toys everywhere and hoarding them in very specific locations? It's like, he has one over here where he hoards toys, and sometimes he hoards them over here where he will, like, sleep and shit when I'm over here. It's a little hoarder, dude. It's like, what the hell? And when I'm, you know, like, going to bed and stuff, like, in the middle of the night, sometimes he'll hoard stuff right by my door, so I'll wake up and I'll see, like, I hate this, but he'll eat my socks. He'll chew on my damn socks. So I'll see some socks that are shredded to shit, so I have to throw those away. Well, you know, I shouldn't even do that. I shouldn't even throw them away, because I should just make his socks. So he has, like, his socks he can chew, and my socks that are just mine. So I'm gonna have to start separating the socks. Where's Zukov's socks, where he just plays with them, and then my socks, where he doesn't. And then, like, sometimes I have like, what? Hey, what are you? Oh my God, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, Zukov! Oh my God, you fucking sweet baby rays. What are you doing? Don't give me this look. You fucking little nuts. What? Oh my God. You're fucking insane. Oh my fucking God. You are a coke addict. Sweet baby rays, dude. Oh my fucking God. What is wrong with you? Okay. Well, you're a psycho. You're not. Psycho dog. I was talking about your, like, hoarding behavior. Because sometimes I'll have, like, this little water bowl I have in there in my room. Because as I was getting to that... like, sometimes he'll drink it all up. And then, after that... he'll, like, for some reason, like... pick it up and, like, stash it? When he's done drinking out of the water bowl? I guess, like, lick the bottom of it, I guess? I don't know why. Like, I think he's, like, thinking if I, like, lick this little bowl enough, I can get all the moisture out of it. But at that point, it's just, like, he's just recycling his own, like, tongue licks. Man, that dog. What a ball of insanity. What the fuck? You're nuts, dude. Don't even do that. No, lay down. Don't even be pulling at me like that. Because you're ridiculous. Don't be expecting anything. I'm actually surprised, like, the ball, like, nothing fell. Like, this is the only thing that fell, but it fell on that chair that he somehow got tangled in. He got tangled in this, like, fucking red chair that I now have folded up right over here. It's just like, how in the fuck did you do that? And then he was trying to turn around in it, and it just, I don't even know. I don't even, like, he just immediately caused immediate chaos and insanity in such a short span. It's like, look at you. God, you're so cute. Yeah, you know you're cute. You know you're just a cutie. You know you're just a cutie. I mean, I really can't be mad at you for that. That was just kind of more hilarious and embarrassing for you more than anything. Goofball. Anyway. I don't know. I think I'll call it good for the last little bit this evening here, y'all. All that fun shit. Zukov does any more chaos. Because we definitely don't need any of that. Anyway, peace out. And of course, I'll be back around for that next one, I suppose, usually.